You may recognize that noise as the noise that's made in the stadium when the fans get bored or they just want to talk to each other. Woo! So Conor won one of the lawsuits with Artem. Won. It's done. He won. And we'll talk about which one and why that is notable, because the one that he won is the one where Artem was suing him for online harassment or whatever, because Conor was going on, he's a little rat. He's a little rat. And so Artem added another lawsuit on top for harassment, and the judge threw it out today. Judges, and not only the judge, you want to know what the judge said? The judge said that it's par for the course in fight promotion trash talk. So I guess there's legal certainty now that you can say whatever you want when it comes to talking trash online for fight promotion, which is exactly how it should be. I mean, listen, you could say whatever you want as long as you don't hurt anyone's feelings. It's like, you could say whatever you want as long as you don't slander them. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big difference between he's a little rat and you're like, did you know that he had an affair with a disgusting man and he embezzled money from his last job as well as slept with the boss's wife? You're all, none of that's true. It's like, well, I don't know. I have freedom of speech. You're all, well, you can't just make things up about me though. Conor won the lawsuit about online harassment. Artem sued him for online harassment, and the judge threw it out. And I would imagine that now Artem's going to need to pay Conor's legal bills on that too. Although I doubt that the legal bills were very big because, what's the defense? They're like, he harassed me. And Conor's like, no, I basically just did what I always do. And the judge is all, yeah, no, he just is doing what he always does. So get out of here. Get out of here. But again, like I say this every time I talk about this. I am not I feel bad for Artem, dude. I really do. I really genuinely do. But, look, dude, I can imagine exactly what that feels like, especially he's probably hurting for dough. And then he's going back and he's just thinking in his mind, like, I could have just said, yes, I would like a small percentage of the company that I helped set up. And he's like, and we'd be set for life. And I just didn't do that. And I did it out of some stupid idea that the value Conor would put on that would be more valuable than the percentage, which is totally incorrect. Conor would have valued him more so if he would have taken the percentage and stayed involved. And everybody should let that be a lesson to them. Like if someone offers you something in something like that, something like that, just take it, take it. Now, in fairness, there are other things where you really can make a statement, not taking anything. Like I was watching a big YouTube channel the other day that I actually don't usually watch them, and they were something happened with their payment processing, and this other really big YouTube channel helped them by lending their payment processor to them. And they said, they were like, he wouldn't allow us to pay him. And I think that's cool. Cause it's not, you're not talking about like huge money, but it's like, it could have been some money, and they ended up kind of, paying him back by doing a ton of free advertising of his company on their thing. He was like, the thing is, he wasn't even like, it's not even like he was in his feelings as much as just like, he just thought that not taking the percentage meant something that it didn't, like it doesn't, like, not like rejecting that money is it doesn't do what you think it does, because if you really genuinely did add value and someone's like, man, I want to say thank you to you. Here's $1 million. I mean, you earn that money, dude. If you ask for it, that's different. You know, like if you know, I mean, I don't know. Like I personally, I would have been like, I mean, obviously, if I really was involved in the genesis of a Conor McGregor company, I would have been like, look, man, here's what I think you should do. I would have recommended the whiskey, and I'd be like, and just candidly, I would love to be involved, and I would love to add value any way that I can, and then just be a part of the project from the beginning. Because like, if you really are good friends with Conor, you're not doing anything wrong. You're volunteering to do a project with him, which means you're going to be, you know, another thing that you guys do together. You know, yeah, I mean, but anyway, no. Conor offered Artem $1 million per Artem. Artem is the one that said this, that Conor offered him $1 million and Artem didn't take it. So Conor's good on this, dude. Oh, I would love to tell you this. So you want to talk about a sponsored brand? I'm not sponsored by these guys yet, but just for the record, Jim King, you can sponsor me. We can negotiate where you just give me free clothes. You just give me free clothes and I'll fucking wear them all the time. I love their shit so much. Jim King. So it's like, I saw they sponsor Cody Garbrandt and Kamaru Usman, but I think the first post I saw of theirs was Cody Garbrandt. He was in like this full, like they do it, like most of the ones I have are tracksuits. He had this like Jim King tracksuit. I was like, dude, that is the sickest fucking tracksuit I've ever seen. And I went on and like, oh, I love their shit, dude. I have this one. I don't have the pants for this one because they were gone. So this is like the top of a tracksuit, and I don't have the bottom. So then but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full tracksuits, another sweatshirt, this one. I have like a shirt, like a t-shirt and shorts set. And I'm probably forgetting another one. I love it, dude. Montana, thank you so much, man. You emailed me. Much love from Chicago. All right. Well, then. Let's see. Let's see what you emailed. Well, I don't know which ones. I don't know which email you are. But thank you for the super chat, good sir. Yeah, thank you very much, Jay. I like talking about that stuff. What's up, Giuliano? Yeah, so Burgos, yeah. I just got that. So about the UFC trip. Let me know what's the deal. Would love to go with you and Gabby. Girl wants to meet you guys. Yeah, dude. We'll figure it out. Like, I mean, we like the beginning of the year is dicey because there's only one show that's in America out of the first 3 because you got Brazil, the one in Perth, and then I can't remember which one is in Brazil, or I'm sorry, is in the US, but yeah, so like it probably won't be the first one, but we'll probably do the one after that would be my guess. But check this out. Dude, Cheeto or Sandhagen? Man, that's a tough fight to call. That is such a tough fight to call. Like those guys are, I really, really like both those guys. You know, I like really like both those guys. So, I mean, and I think their fight styles match up kind of where it's, I don't know. Cheeto looks so good in his recent fights, but Sandhagen's a monster, dude. My hypothesis is that is going to be a 5-round banger. That's going to be awesome. Tanto, thank you so much, dude. Russian culture is not my Halloween costume. Tracks. Oh, bro. I've been running. Listen, In thank you for the super chat. In 2000, Jesus, like I've been rolling full tracksuits for 16, 17 years. They just speak to my heart. I'm a matchy dude. Like I like shit that matches. You give me an entire outfit that matches, I like it. You know, I like it a lot. I have matching tattoos on my chest, you know? I like shit that matches. Tracksuits are awesome. And these Gym King ones are so clean, dude. I need the bottoms for this one because this tracksuit was literally created to be worn with the military grade Jordan 4s that I have. I was born with a tracksuit on. Yeah, I definitely did that on purpose. And he's in black and white too. All right, check this out. So let's just look at let's look at what's going down. Okay, so what's the one that jumps out at you guys? What should we do? Obviously this. Man, this is impressive for MMA junkie. Who is this person? All right. Misha Tate. I don't even know what this is. Whoever that. Oh, it's Ariani. Durr. Damn, she still looks good, man. Whoa. I don't know. Oh, wow. Ariani. Look at you. Jan Blahovic. Cub. Santos. Jeez. Who's that? Kay Hansen? That's a dude. All these girl fighters are like, what's up, dude? OnlyFans. Dude. See? Right out of the gate, OnlyFans. Brittany Palmer. Jose Aldo. Paul Whitaker. Oh. Wait, who's that? Nick Lentz. Man. Oh, the Lioness. She's so cool, dude. Like, she is so fucking cool. Oh, Amanda Ribas. Speaking of OnlyFans, I don't know if she does it, but she should. I'm going to tell you right now, dude, one time, Amanda Ribas, I saw, actually, I think my channel's too big for me to say this now. Let's just say one time I saw an interaction between her and someone on TV, like when she was like, you know, kind of like I was watching on television and I saw her interact with someone and I was like, oh, she's fucking him for sure. She's not good at, she wears it on her face. She wears that on her face for sure. What do I got here? Tanto, thank you very much, man. Sugar or Sandhagen if it happens? Man. I like Sugar in all these fights, man. He's so good. He's so good, man. But JBI, thank you so much, man. We are close to 100,000. Dude, I was humming for a second. Like, because I went back to back. I had that Balenciaga video that did like 360,000 views. And like, and just kind of the way that I do, you know, where I'm like, look, man, like on the gentleman's agreement, like if you're going to watch my stuff, just subscribe to the channel. It's free, you know, and that's all I ask. I'm not taking money from anyone. And so people are good about it. You know, like people watch, they're like, all right, like it's a gentleman's agreement. Like, why would I not? Like, it's, do you know what I mean? Like of course I would do that. If any channel that I watch consistently said that, I would be like, okay. And so between that video and then the Chael and Ariel oh shit, we got to talk about that. The Doug Crosby thing. The Doug Crosby video, that one did 160,000 views. Dude, I gained 13,500 subscribers in the last 28 days, which is crazy. That's a huge jump, dude. Huge jump. And then it slowed down a little bit like this week because there's like, like sometimes you can just like feel that there's no one on YouTube, like you just feel it. It's like sometimes you're on and you don't have like a live stream. You don't have a lot of people watching, but you can tell there's like, they're like doing something. You just like, I don't know how, but you kind of feel they're on YouTube, but they're doing something else. It's like this week feels like there's just like no one or like less people on YouTube. You know what I mean? But also like when there's nothing going on in MMA, it's crazy the engagement jump when a pay-per-view comes around. It's like it's so different. It's like it goes nuts. And I was really like I didn't realize how much I was hurting my channel by going to all of the events and at least not being very consistent about, even though I'm going to the event, like posting videos the day before, maybe that night after, and then the day after, because like the way the algorithm is always stacking your channel up against other people's channels that are in the same sector. And so like, because UFC, everyone like floods YouTube during, like kind of right before and then right after, like the week after events. And so if you're not posting videos people are going to get the content somewhere. And then so when you come back, it'll prioritize the other channels over yours in the suggestions. And it's been like on live streams too. And I didn't figure that out for a while, like where I was just like, I don't understand what's going on. And then like I figured it out and I was like, oh, that's what it is. It's crazy. Like the algorithm, it's like feels like a mystery. But if you pay really close attention and you do it for a couple of years and you just kind of go, okay, like you just end up starting to like figure out what affects it and what doesn't. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you guys could like this video, that would be incredible. I would appreciate it very much. Yeah, it is kind of depressing not having MMA for this long. It's like, there's nothing going on. Oh, all right. So yeah, I'll recap again the Conor thing real quick, and then we'll talk about Doug Crosby's new story because there's another one. And I'm gonna do a video on it tomorrow. Like that'll be probably the video that I do, but I'll talk about it on the live stream now anyway, because I've been talking for 18 minutes and I doubt very many people are gonna get this far into it. So on the Artem thing, Artem sued Conor with a second suit. He filed a second suit against Conor, which was for harassment, saying that Conor was harassing him online, and the judge ruled in Conor's favor today. So that like Conor won that lawsuit. And so he can basically say whatever he wants about Artem. I mean, he could have before too, but now he really can. It's like he has legal certainty that he can say whatever he wants. But you know what? On the Crosby thing, maybe I'll just show it to you guys. Hang on. I usually don't like to do this because I don't want to like risk. I don't like risking accidentally. Wait a minute. No way. Oh God, shut up. See that's clickbait, dude. Okay. Like Elon reveals huge announce 1 hour ago, I'm selling. And then you click on it, he's like, oh, you've been selling your new features. And he's like, yeah. It's like, fuck you. Anyway, okay, hang on. So Dude, where the hell did it go? Oh, there it is.
I consider Jeff Mullen a friend, and I do believe that they will absolutely not allow that to happen anymore in terms of the quick turn for judges. But again, there's just so many things going on. I don't even know where to begin.
Here's my point. It has nothing to do with his judging. Everybody's going to make mistakes. This guy's just a rotten human being.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with the judging. This is what Mazzulli's got to figure out, because I think Mazzulli's responsible for this guy coming back. And I could be wrong, Mike. I'm just saying this is my thought process. Was I know after Virginia, that fight that you remember you got on the mic with Al, and you booing me.
Jorge Masvidal, yep.
Where Crosby won 30 again across the board. He won every round. Masvidal, right? After that fight, he should have never been in that seat judging that fight. We were in the middle of, he had a court order of protection against the ring doctor. I mean, they knew this. And he sat his ass in that chair, knowing he was going to judge my guy's fight, and we had a problem. That's a major problem. This has nothing to do with the judging.
Right.
This guy's got to be looked at for his character, and he has zero when it comes to that.
There are reportedly countless examples of him just, bullying and harassing, right? And I will tell our audience, I once went to Mark Ratner because of my relationship with Ray. Crosby's essentially motherfucking me with his eyes across the octagon.
Well, that's who he
every
is.
time I look over from the broadcaster's table, and I said, Mark, can you just please, not have that happen? I'm trying to call 8 hours of fights. I don't need this guy, in threatening mode. So yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you what's so crazy about that, dude. So big fines. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it very much, man. So what's crazy is like, okay, so Doug Crosby is across and he's mean mugging John Anik, right? To the point where John Anik has to go and talk to someone about it. All right. So I've heard of people mean mugging. I mean, it's kind of juvenile, seems a little bit juvenile to be doing that, like as like two grown adults. But what makes it insane is John Anik is at the announcer desk. Like, you guys know where that is, right? It's like there's a cage, and then the announcers are literally right on the cage. So how would Doug Crosby be in a position to be mean mugging John Anik? It means he was judging at the time. It means that while being a UFC judge, sitting at the table, supposed to be judging a fight, he's spending his time staring at John Anik like, fuck you, John Anik. Fuck you, John Anik. Fuck you, John Anik. Little bitch, John Anik. Fuck you. It's like, dude, what are you serious? You know what I mean? Like it's like, seriously, actually think about that. You know what I mean? Like, really actually think about that. Like, I assume that there's probably not a whole lot of people who are fans of my channels that would fancy themselves pussies, right? Like, I'm not saying anybody is like, would run away from a problem you had with a person, but at the same time, I assume most of us are also grown-ups. And so if you have some issue with a person, unless you're talking about something absolutely huge, which is I don't think John Anik is capable of having that kind of problem with a person. You see the guy, and for all intents and purposes, you just avoid him. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, oh, Jesus, there's that fucking guy. And you just do your job, and you avoid having to look at him. You're like, I don't want to engage with this fuckhead. You know what I mean? Like, who would just sit there and just be all, like, it's so weird. That's just fucking weird, man. But like I said, I read the book Sociopath Next Door, straight down the line, dude. Everything that I've heard about it, it's just textbook is what it sounds like. And they are, I mean, dude, sociopaths they're not all dangerous. They're like that. People think that like, oh, that guy's a sociopath. That means they're dangerous. I mean, they can be for sure. But what their defining quality is they're like, it's like that. They're bad people, like, because they don't have a conscience. Like they don't have a conscience. That's what it means. So like, you know what I mean? It's just so weird. Like when you actually read about all these stories from them, it's really bizarre, man. You know, I go to someone's house, I see, you know, some guy's got a pair of shoes that I like. I'm like, damn, those shoes are sick. I'll be like, dude, nice shoes, man. And in my head, I'm like, man, I wonder how much those cost. Like it would never even cross my mind to steal the guy's shoes. You know, like that would never even cross my mind. And like a sociopath would be like, I could probably get him. I could probably get away with it. And I could easily just look in his face and tell him I didn't do it. And he'll probably believe me. But even if he doesn't, I don't really care. You know? It's bizarre, man. And like back in the, like in previous times, there were less of them because they would get killed. They'd be in tribes and they'd try to fuck a guy's wife and they get thrown off a cliff. You know what I mean? We already talked about Artem, dude. I've talked about Artem 3 times. Conor and Artem were in court. Artem sued Conor for harassment. The judge ruled in Conor's favor. Conor can say whatever the fuck he wants about Artem now. So Conor straight up won that lawsuit. Yes, it's incredibly silly, dude. Lots of idiots out here trying to be heavyweight champ. I don't even know. Like, I know Crosby's got a background in like pro wrestling or whatever. I don't know if he was like, I don't know what his like martial arts background is, but I would assume he has one given that he's been judging for 100 years. But whatever. So did you guys watch the video that I did about Jeff Molina yet and Kraus? So I assume that a lot of you guys probably have. So I'll tell you guys the story, right? I'll tell you guys the story about who I got bent out of shape about. You guys can tell me your thoughts. See if you think I was out of line. Okay. So I did the original video about Kraus and them. And like I said in the video, like I didn't realize that the FBI having served a warrant and taken his stuff. I didn't know that wasn't public yet. Like I thought everybody knew because a bunch of people knew. So I did the video and some people, oh no, it's, you know, this was still in the phase where Dana was like, oh, it's just going to blow over, you know, which Dana has obviously flipped around on. But like, again, it just wasn't public yet. And so there's a dude who has a channel it's a much, much, much smaller channel than mine. And I had been extremely generous with my time. Like I'd done his show like 4 times, 5 times. I don't know. Just like, cause I'm being nice. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like I thought I was going to get anything out of it. It's just like, he had been cool to me when I started and I was being cool back. So I did his show. Right. So I was interviewing for this tech job, right? Cause I got fired from my job in September for not being vaccinated, which is another whole other thing, dude. I was number 1 in the country in quota attainment, like number 1 in the country. There's no, like out of, I don't know, 19 people. I was literally number 1. And they did like a reduction in force, like over here. They fired 1 person on my entire team and it was me. And it was 6 weeks after they found out I wasn't vaccinated and they forced me to wear an N95 mask through this entire full day thing. And like, I mean, it's like, everybody knows that's why they did it. I mean, it's like, what other possible fucking reason could there be? So I was interviewing for another, like, the thing is though, like, we don't need that. Like, we really genuinely don't need that money. It's all just like, it's just bonus, you know, like, it's like, we make plenty of money to cover our bills. But I mean, if you can stack another, you know, I don't know if I should talk about how much it is, but like, you know, a lot more money, then why not do it? But so like initially I started interviewing for other jobs, right? So I was like, all right. And you know what? Actually, it is relevant, dude. So I was interviewing with this company. It's like a technology company. It's like a technology job. It's I don't know. I'd probably do $285K a year, something like that. 285. I think that's what because I negotiated my comp. it was either 285 or 295. I can't remember, that I was going to get off. Anyway, it's not here there, but it's a tech job, you know, a little less than 300K. And then you can, you know, obviously I can make more than that if I go over my quota, but like, so the company though, like culturally, the culture was a massive mismatch. Like these guys were so woke. It was insane, dude. Like they were the most woke company I've ever seen. Like in terms of their online presence and like the people that I interacted with, it was like, you know, and before people ask like, well, why did you want the job? Believe me, like it's like the comp is in line with what I would have gotten paid at any other company that I took the same kind of job. It was actually what the product was. It's a long story. It doesn't matter. Okay. But everyone in my family was like, this is not, dude, you don't want to work for this company. They're like, you don't. I'm like, dude, the people I talked to are pretty cool. You know, I was trying to talk myself into it because in all honesty, because I knew it was going to be really easy. Like it was going to be like a really easy job. And I'm like, I'll just deal with the woke people, dude. Like I'll just deal with it. And so I went through and I had done like 5 or 6 interviews. I'd done like the super long, like 20 slide, you know, slide deck presentation that I did. And then I presented it. And then I met with and then I did my executive interview. And it was like the last thing I negotiated my comp. And it was so I had done basically everything. And they're like, oh, you know, we'll let you know by Thursday or whatever. And I was dude, I crushed my final interview. Like there was, and we already negotiated comp and stuff. So like I'm at like the half yard line with them basically like, okay, come on in. And then on Thursday, they hadn't responded or they hadn't like reached out. And I was like, okay, that's fucking weird. Like, cause they had been on it throughout this, you know, it was a multi-month process. I'm like, that's weird that they didn't respond. And so I just started thinking, I'm like, I know it wasn't my interview. Like what could make this go sideways? And then I was like, and I just thought to myself, I was like, oh shit, if these guys do like a deep dive on the internet and they connect my name to Jesse on Fire and then they get to Jesse on Everything, I'm fucked. There is a fucking 0% chance. Even if they had already fucking offered me the good job and I had signed it, if they found Jesse on Everything, they'll pull it, you know, just because of the culture at this company. And so it does, like everybody knows, like anybody who searches Jesse on Fire can find my real name. Like that's, who cares? Like that's something. But if you search my real name, do you find Jesse on Fire? Like that's like that was my thing is like, okay, if they search my real name, are they going to find Jesse on Fire? And so I had done like a half decent scrub of it, but there were 2 places that were still connecting my name to Jesse on Fire. And there were one podcast with that dude. And then a podcast that I did with Bobby the Bank from Sheath, like the guy who owns Sheath. And so I just hit both of them up. I'm like, hey, do you guys mind taking those down? Just because if these guys, you know, I'm like, it's a job thing. Like if these guys find it, they're going to find my channel. I'm not going to get this job. So Bobby took it down. It's obviously like, took it down instantly. Oh, dude, he took it down. And then, so I did the Kraus. Oh, and then that's exactly what happened. They had already found it. Like they had already found it. And they didn't give me the job. Okay. Is it like, which I should have known by Thursday, the fact that they hadn't called, like, if that's why, then I'm done anyway, you know? And that is exactly what happened. So anyway, so like, so I didn't get the gig. And then honestly, like fucking 2-3 weeks later, the only real reason I was like looking was because I thought like Gabrielle feels more comfortable if I have like a corporate job. But then she was like, you know, she's like, your future's not in corporate. And like, as soon as she said that, I was like, all right, I'll just do this for now. And then like, I mean, and we have money, other places coming in too, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. So like, so I just was like, I'm not looking anymore anyway, but that happened. Right. So I do the Kraus video. Okay. I do the Kraus video and I'm like, and I relay exactly what I heard from a bunch of people, which obviously now has been validated. Okay. So this dude who I had done these fucking podcasts with, right? Who I'd been very generous with, like very generous. Bobby the Bank, actually, the fucking dude from Sheath sent me this clip. He's like, dude, these guys are talking a ton of shit about you. And I'm like, oh, I don't care. Like, I literally didn't even watch it. Like, it was like, I'm like, I don't care. And like, they're just trying to bait me to talk to get into it. He's like, all right. You know, and I didn't even watch it. And then someone else sent it to me. And then someone else sent it to me. And then someone else sent it to me. So like 4 people sent it to me, and I'm like, all right, I'll just fucking watch it. And it's this other guy. So it's not the dude that I had done it with, some other guy that he does podcasts with. And the guy goes, Jesse's on fire, just spewing a bunch of complete horse shit. Doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, talking nonsense. Oh, the FBI. He's like, that's just not even true. It's fake news. He's all, didn't Jesse ask you to take his real name off of a thing? And he's like saying my real name. He's all, hey, why don't we, he's like, I'll tell you what, we're going to put his fucking real name back on the internet. We're going to put his real fucking name back on the internet. And we're not going to take it down until he apologizes for saying fake bullshit about James Krause. He's like, oh, didn't he ask you to do that when he's trying to get a job at a fucking gas station or like a Kohl's? And I just was like, the fucking balls on this ungrateful, stupid fuck. Like the fucking audacity of that, dude. Like I did your shit out of like generosity. What are you like? I call you and ask you to take a thing. What are you even telling this fat fuck about that anyway? Like this stupid fuck that is talking about it. That's something I told you about. Why the fuck does he even know about it? And then you're going to allow him to say that. And then you're going to post it on your own fucking channel. You're going to fucking threaten me getting jobs. You already fucked me out of my last job, you dumb fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anywho. So I didn't take it very well. I didn't take it well at all. I was fucking mad, dude. And then when I call, like I hit him up, I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? Like what would possibly make you think that like you posting that would not just like, unless were you like, hey, let me just light the bridge on fire. Like at this point, I have a pretty valuable fucking contact to have in the MMA fucking media space. You just wanted to light that on fire for what? Like, why? And he's like, well, it wasn't true. He didn't get raided by the feds. I'm like, what the fuck? First of all, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And B, how does this make any, like, and he's like, he's talking about the other guy. He's like, he just wants you to call him. I'm like, the dude that just said that he's going to sabotage my career my career trying to work at a fucking gas station. That guy, you think I'm going to call that fucking idiot? You have a better chance at getting fucking Dana White to call that dumb fuck than me. Anyway, so that's what happened. And then so now when I do the follow-up to the Krause video, and now all of the information that I fucking put out before is now public, I just had to at least say that. I would never say their fucking name on this channel because I'm not going to do them that favor. But that's what I was talking about. Anyway, oh, dude, I have 290,000 subscribers on TikTok, and I've posted there maybe like 3 times in the last year. I have, for all intents and purposes, have gotten rid of it. TikTok exists to poison our culture. I don't know, like they're like, oh, they're weaponizing people's data. I don't know anything about that. What I do know is that they are thinking they're playing the long game, and they are poisoning the brains of our youth, like feeding them this woke bullshit. Like in China, they're sending them educational things, pro country things, right? Like manhood things, take responsibility for your life things. And then in America, they're perpetuating the police are going to beat you to death if you fucking jaywalk. That anyone who looks differently than you is your enemy. That Colin Kaepernick is a fucking hero. That Mike Jackson is a real stud with really good ideas. So the entire system is built on white supremacy. In 2022 it is? When we had a fucking black president for back-to-back terms, you stupid fuck. Jesus. I can't with that, dude. I literally can't. I can't. The system is built on white supremacy. Well, how do you explain the 8 years of a black president with like historically high voting in his direction? I mean, you would think that like if we lived in a white supremacist society, that would be impossible. And if you would think that like anyone with an IQ over 80 would stop saying stupid things like we live in a white supremacist society as soon as we had a black president for 2 terms. You fucking idiot. Caleb Fowler, thank you so much, man. It's not the parents, dude. The parents aren't doing a good enough job to shield them from all this nonsense. I mean, there are some people who are like woke parents, and then they, you know, I don't know what I take their kids to all ages drag shows and shit. But like, no, exactly. That's exactly right. Exactly. Imagine if it, you know, was constantly praising America. Like, it's like, look at all the amazing things that we do. America's an incredible place to live. We all have this in common. Your neighbor is your friend. We might disagree on certain topics, but blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't even understand how people don't see how obvious what they're doing is. You know? I just don't understand. Like, how do you not see it? And so people, and like, you know, they're like, oh, well, you're a part of it, dude. You're a part of it. You're fighting against them. I'm like, I'm fighting against people who are hating on America and trying to explain to them that what they're doing is destroying the country, and it's destroying our youth, and it's toxifying our society, and it's going to lead to terrible outcomes. Like, if you're going to tell me that that's what I'm doing, explain yourself. Go ahead and defend that position. What are people who think like me doing that's going to make the United States weaker and make people's lives worse? Because I can play this game all day. You guys support segregated dorms, segregated buildings in college. And you think you guys are the ones fighting against racism? You guys are the good guys? It's ridiculous. It's like, it honestly is ridiculous. Like, and that's what I'm saying. To only like the box and years of pumping money into the college, you know, the education system, teaching them these ideas, and then it just spreads like a virus, dude. It just literally spreads like a virus. Ideas that are just patently meant to break us. You know? It's crazy. I'm really very curious what Brittany Griner's temperature is now. It's like, hey, remember when you got arrested in Russia for a crime that you committed? Like, you know what I mean? Like, remember when everyone acted like you were a political prisoner, when in reality, like, you smuggled drugs into Russia and got caught? Remember that? It's like, you know, well, I mean, I was a huge supporter of go get her out of there. You know, like I supported that. I'm like, go get her out of there, dude. She's American. I walk it like I talk it, dude. You know, like, I'm not someone who's all, I love the country. And then it's like, let her fucking rot. You're all, really? Yeah. She is, you know, she's a wokester. You're like, she's American. She's in a Russian prison. They're using her as a fucking bargaining chip. She's American. She might have some bad ideas, but she's fucking American. Go get her, dude. You know? But now it's like, hey, Brittany, how do you feel now? You know? Like, how do you feel now? Do you like America? We had your back, remember? If she kneels at the anthem after that, throw her back to her. If she kneeled at the anthem after that, throw her back, dude. Then she can have them. They can have her. But yes, demoralization and then destabilization. It's like, I mean, again, everything is framing, dude. Everything is framing. This country built on white supremacy. Really? Then why does everyone have equal rights now? Because what you could say is this is the most progressive country in the world. Like, what you could say is the entire world was set up that way. And then we are now the shining light of the world that's figured out a way to get everybody to kind of intermingle and do things together, not try to kill each other, equal rights. went to war to end slavery. It's like the honest story of the United States is on. It's the opposite. We have a terrible history with race, but we've flipped it. Like we did all of the things to like make it not that, which is not easy. And we've done that. So you can look at it glass half empty. Oh my God, look at what we used to do. Or you can look at it glass half full. Like look at the challenging, like social structure that we were able to navigate to create the greatest country on earth. Look at history, man. Are you fucking listening, idiot? That's my point. History, terrible. I guarantee I know more about it than you do. Terrible. Terrible. Jim Crow, redlining, slavery, all of it. Terrible. And then look at it now. That's the whole point. Look at it now. Look at it now. So my point is, I'm not even saying that I necessarily fully look at it that way. I'm saying that like you can look at it one of two ways. You could look at it like glass half full. Wow, look at the work that we did. Look at all the improvements we made. Look at how everybody intermingles now, yada, yada, yada. Or you can look at it like, oh my God, my ancestors did blah, blah, blah to blah, blah, blah. And so we can never forget, never forget, never forget. Like, are we still going to be doing this in fucking 50 years? Like we're going to do this in 50 fucking years? 50 years? It's like, Jesus. Yeah. We got a 60% drop in testosterone. Oh, good. That's probably going to lead to an awesome outcome. That's going to be good. No more high testosterone men. Oh, good. That's generally worked out really well in history. Someone posted something on Instagram today that was like, I can't remember exactly what the context was, but it was like, what they want is they want you to be fat, weak, and impotent so that you're incapable of revolution. And I was like, yep, that pretty much. I think that there is a high likelihood that, that if things go the way that I think they're going, they'll outlaw training martial arts at some point. Not for a long time, but I would bet you that in my lifetime, the powers that be will take away people's ability to train martial arts. That would be my guess. By 2050, the median sperm count will be 0. Well, they'll get what they want then, population control. I heard that they're getting prepared to grow babies in labs. But yeah. Dude, I mean, bottom line is like people are going to follow their incentive structures. Like people are going to follow their incentive structures always. So it's like, gerrymandering or any of that stuff or redistricting and all that stuff. It's like, that's people trying to win elections. Like using rules that they're allowed to use. Yeah, no, they'll never be able to take away all the guns. They'll never be able to take away all the guns because it's like this, dude. How are they? Well, that's actually not true. There is a way that they could do it. There absolutely is a way that they could do it. And it has nothing to do with someone coming and taking it from you. They'll have you turn it in, and I can tell you exactly how they'd get you to do it. Is if they are successful surrounding the food production, like let's say that hypothetically, the reason why certain people are trying to buy up all the farmland and all the food production is because they're trying to centralize it to a place where they control it permanent, like they control all of it. Okay. If they were able to do that, okay, if they're able to actually circle the wagons and buy up all the food production or enough to where they control the market completely, then what they do is they would just set up a system for distributing the food based on social credit score and whatever. And if you don't have this box checked, this box checked, this box checked, you don't get fucking food. And so it's like, all right, well, you know, you can keep your guns, assuming that you have like a fully functioning farm. You know, if you have a garden that you can feed your family with and you don't need access to what they're providing, which they're trying to make everyone reliant on them, because if people are relying on them, then they can tell people to do whatever they want and they'll have to do it. You'll have to take the shots. You'll have to turn in your guns. You'll have to do all that stuff or else you won't get food for your kids, and everyone will do it. They're not going to, no. They're not going to fight you with guns, dude. They're going to fight you like I just laid out. That's how they do it. Armando Mendez, thank you so much, man. They have banned martial arts before, just like firearms. I didn't even know that, but that's, I mean, like I said, I hypothesized that would happen. There's nothing to talk about in fights, dude. I would love to talk fights. What are we going to talk about? Here, we can go back to what's everybody else doing for Christmas? Angela Lee, Cynthia Cavallo, Damian Brown. We're more the hot girl fighters. Jackpot. Andrea G. Blee. Someone was saying that someone said that that Paige Van Zant and Austin split up, but then when I went on, I think that was like not true. Because then when I went on Twitter, like she said something about being single, but then when I went on Twitter, she said something about, oh, my husband's going to yada yada. Like I don't think that was right. Oh, I saw this picture. Valerie Lareda. She knows her angles, dude. She knows her angles real well. Dude, I'm telling you right now, this is the coolest dude that's ever spoke Chinese. I love this guy. I wish he spoke English, man. Frankie Edgar. Is that Davison Figueiredo? Megan Anderson. She's all, I'm sitting here reflecting. I told you guys that James Krause was an asshole before everyone found out he was an asshole. Savage UFC. Dude, I'm just gonna be straight up, man. I have always thought that Megan Anderson's looking cool, dude. I think she's looking cool. I realize she's enormous, you know, but I think she's looking cool. I'm just going to say it, dude. Triple C, what's up, dude? Man, they really compiled like every single fighter's Christmas shit. Oh, there's Conor. Merry Christmas. He's so new money. It's hilarious, dude. He's got a lot of it, though. He can do whatever he wants. I'm not into Amazonian chicks personally. Like, you know, like in pictures, you can't see how big or small a girl is. So you're just like, I like the way her body's shaped. I like her face. But then, like in person, it's like, oh, she's too big for me. I like them teensy. I like them teensy. Dude, I had this buddy. I had this little buddy named Joe, who's small. Like I used to work with him, like way back in the day. He's like little, dude. He's like 5, probably 6 or something. Can't remember. I don't know, 5, 6. And he was so into these huge bitches, man. Like Gabrielle's roommate, that's when I was friends with him, is when I first started dating Gabrielle. And her 2 roommates were like pretty well-known models in LA. And they would come around and he'd always be like, he's like, dude, you got to get me with Aaron, man. You got to get me with Aaron. I'm like, Aaron's not fucking, she's not fucking you, dude. He's like, oh, like, come on. Like, I got to breed out the short gene. I was like, Aaron's a supermodel in LA, dude. Why on earth would she fuck you? She fucks Vin Diesel. Like she really did. She fucks E from Entourage. Her sexual partners are people you watch on television. She's not fucking you, dude. She is definitely not fucking. I'll show you guys what she looks like, actually. She's like 5'11" and a smoke show. What's a good one? I remember like the first year. This is her. And Little Joe. Dude, hook me up, bro. Are you out of your mind? That's never going to happen, Joe. Never. I don't know if anybody tell me what's tell me an MMA topic here. Hang on. Let's just do it together. All right. So MMA fighting. No one wants to fight Hamzat. Shocker. I mean, seriously, would you want to fucking fight Hamzat? And Anthony, I totally agree with that, obviously. Whoa, 2022 Fighter of the Year is Alex Pereira. Oh, nice. Let's look at this, dude. Fighter of the Year, Alex Pereira, huh? I mean, I guess, yeah. And then Volkanovski, Islam Makhachev, Wheeling Zhang, Leon. Honorable mention, Aljamain, Larissa, Sergey, Drew Dober. I don't hate that list at all, man. I would say for sure, if Oliveira would have beat Islam, it would have been Oliveira year for sure. Even considering Alex, like I would have, like if Charles won that fight against Islam, it's Charles year for sure. No, I don't, because Conor has all these like businesses. Like Conor's like moving and shaking and like doing businesses. Like where unless I was just not privy to them, which means that he was doing a shitty job promoting them. Like Floyd was like making a fuckload of money when he would box, and then he would just go around and spend money and buy crazy ass shit. He would also, I mean, I know he owns like strip clubs or whatever, but how much money is there in like a couple strip clubs? So that like that doesn't buy you a lifestyle like those guys, you know? Mayweather, though, I mean, at a certain point, he's not going to be able to fight anymore, right? Like he could still fight now, which is crazy, but like at a certain point, he's not going to be able to fight, and he spends so much money, dude. Dude, Drew Dober was getting dotted up, man. Drew Dober was getting beat down, and then he caught. It's too bad, dude, because Bobby Green looked so good in that fight. I mean, Drew Dober's a gangster, but fuck, man, that fight was awesome. All right, we're coming up on an hour. I'm gonna sign off. But yeah, love you guys. Peace.